two away games, obviously you didn't get the results you wanted, but you talk about building blocks. Do you feel that you made some progress in those two games?
Look, the first game against Preston was a difficult result to take after the performance we had. I don't think the performance was really that poor. It wasn't bad. I thought there were some really good bits in that, and I think we probably played the best and been in that game as much as we've been in against any Preston team previously. So it was disappointing. The goal that was disallowed, I mean, it's incredible because there's no way it's touched Haji's hand. We've got definitive proof. Haji said that he didn't touch his hand. We've got some video footage that says he didn't touch his hand. So we feel aggrieved, and I think we're right to feel aggrieved in that instance because there were one or two instances in games, and there's been instances in games where we just haven't had the rub of the green or the luck that the play has deserved, or the right outcome from decisions. So the decision's gone against us. I'm not hiding behind that because the results haven't been good enough. We're clear on that. But football being football, there are times that you go through these periods, and you've got to come through it and try and block out any noise, because the noise can become pretty loud at times, certainly on social media, and if you listen to these comments from individuals or small groups or whatever, it can sort of affect a little bit of confidence, and you've got to try and help with that. I don't think performances again have been particularly poor. I think there's been some really good spells, and again on Tuesday there were some really good spells. We started off brightly, and you have to avoid, and I say all the time, things will turn around. There is no doubt that things will turn around, and the players will look back and hopefully have this as a learning experience for the future. But we've all been in football a long time. You get periods like this where you start to feel things might go against you, or things have gone against you, or not performing to a level that we expect or all want. But again, there are things that are mitigating those results that are generally out of our control as well. In our control, we've got to do better in the defensive side of things because we've conceded too many goals so far. We've got to try and stop that, whilst continuing to create chances and grow into that and take the chances at the other end, and maintain the belief that they've got and build on that, because it's a fine line between the success and the relative failure. So we've got to keep going. There's no easy option. You've got to work hard. You've got to work hard on your mental side of things as well, because that has become so much more prevalent in today's society, and hence you've got to help, support, and build and grow, and that's what we're trying to do in pretty difficult circumstances. You've got to say, young team, young players. We keep saying it, but it's really relevant. And the support that we've had from the fan base has been, it's been fantastic, and we've just got to ask for that to continue, because undoubtedly if they stick behind them, they will come through it a lot quicker. That's for sure.
Obviously, you want the numbers to keep turning up at the arena that you've been having.
Oh, 100%. Yeah, 100%. And like I said, you when you talk about being in it together, there's been a mantra of rise together over a number of years, and the fan base being together. They've seen what happens when everything is together. You see what happens there. We've also seen what happens when it becomes fractured. So they'll have learned, they'll have seen that. They know that I'm not talking rubbish, and I'm sure they will, and they have been. I mean, Tuesday night was incredible. It was brilliant. The majority were incredible at Preston. Just one or two. And sometimes there's people that vent. They go to games that vent and want to vent. Things are happening on the pitch that they don't like, or we haven't won a game that they wanted to see us win, and they've paid hard-earned money and travelled the time, and they've given the time up to come. But just ask them to support the team, support the players, and if they do that, things will turn around a lot quicker.
And you mentioned with the young players, I mean, you've experienced it before, the fans have experienced it before,
Yeah.
perhaps some of these players haven't. Does that make it a bit harder?
The young players, so young men, and they have their own challenges. They will be having some self-doubts. It's normal, it's natural for people to do that. I think in society in general, people doubt themselves. And then that can put them on the back foot. And if you doubt yourself slightly, and by the way, opposition teams will feel that when they play us. You know, they will, because we've got some really good players. I've got no qualms about the quality of the players. You know, it's circumstances that dictate, sometimes we allow it to dictate our mindset, and we've got to change that, and that's the challenge, and we're addressing it and trying to change that, but it doesn't change overnight, but it will change a lot quicker with the support of the fans, and we really appreciate that. You know, it's difficult. It really is difficult because the noise builds. You know what it's like. I know what it's like. I'm not stupid. Said it last week, but it just is a difficult moment where you've got to try and come through it and believe in what you're doing, and I think they do. I mean, you'd have to ask them, but I think they do. I think the performances have been sort of intermittently good, you know, interspersed with periods where there's a little bit of doubt creeping in, but that's what happens in the division. If you can get on top of teams in the division, you put them on the back foot, and we've got to do that to the opponents, but you've got to grow into that, and the start that we've made has meant that we've got to try and start again now. But I think the game, the atmosphere on Tuesday at Loftus Road at QPR, I think was again another outstanding one, and one that we can look to perform in. I think with the result that we got, it's not an ideal result for us, but you know, I think majority of people would have seen that we've worked hard, we've fought hard, we've created some chances, we've taken one of those chances, and really on another night we could have had 3 or 4 goals, and you know, that will come.
And of course Luton are on pretty much the same boat. Are you surprised that they've found it tough early season?
I think Luton are a good team. I think they've had an experience last year that they will have both enjoyed and been despairing at times, and obviously ultimately they were relegated back to this division. This division's tough. Everybody knows that. They know that, and hopefully we can give them a tough afternoon tomorrow. I think, like I said, that they've got players that have been there a while now, and they play in a way that puts you under pressure. So it's going to be a different challenge from the ones that we've faced up to now in the league, because they're a unique team that play a unique style of football, but they've got some really good players as well. Got some really good footballers, so they can mix it up. They can do both, and it's going to be an interesting game for us.
Didn't quite work out last time, but do you feel you have an advantage of them having played on the Wednesday and you the Tuesday?
Well, like I said, last time we felt we did, but it didn't work out. So we've got to try and make these moments count, and these extra games count. They'll make changes. You know, I've got to look at what we're going to do, whether we make changes or not. That will be decided this morning, and yeah, we're just looking forward to the game. You know, I'm looking forward to the games to try and get that momentum going. You know, get the performances in to try and get us going, because to this point we've been hit and miss, really hit and miss. The start of the season was actually not bad. Result against Stoke was a poor one for us, but after that we've had some pretty good performances and some decent results, but not enough of them.
And the 3 at the back you played in the last 2 games, I know the results haven't been great. Do you feel that's worked as a system?
I think again, you talk about systems. You talk about it's about systems. It's about player availability. It's about where they're best suited to be on the pitch. It's about a number of things, but we've got a number of options to make changes to any system that we've got. I think really you've got to look at horses for courses. You look at games. You look at opponents. What the opponent is. Where we're at. You know, where we're at in terms of our mentality and how we need to perform and now they need to perform, and and all of those things. There's a psychological element to everything, as well as the physical and the tactical and the technical. There are things that we've got to take into consideration every day, and try and put that into practice. But again, support, high challenge, high support, and trying to come through a period that's difficult for everybody, including the players. They're finding it tough as well. But they're in a decent spot. They come in here, we try and alleviate any sort of external noise and pressures, and hopefully they can learn and grow and come through this spell.
How are you coping with the season so far? Obviously the results aren't quite what you want. How are you finding it?
Yeah, obviously I think before the season had started, we'd wished to have a better start. We put a lot into it, but it just hasn't really clicked for us yet. So we're doing our best to really turn it around. I think we have a great squad and a great management team above us, and we're just trying to find the right solutions to get results now.
Yeah, do you feel you're far off? Because in the last 2 games the results could easily have been different, couldn't they?
No, not far off. I don't think. I think bar the Leeds game, I don't think there's been a game where we've really been completely out of the game. I think it's just been small details that really cost us the points at the end.
Yeah, and do you feel when you're on a run like this that things just go against you? Because there was a disallowed goal against Preston, which I think everyone pretty much agreed now shouldn't have been. Do you just feel that perhaps things aren't on your side at times?
Yeah, I think it can feel like that. But I think, hopefully when the luck turns, we start getting those decisions for us. And then all of a sudden, we go on a run, and hopefully we're back where we want to be.
And I know Queen's Park Rangers, obviously you're disappointed not to win, but you've come away with an away point and a decent performance, would you feel?
Yeah, it's always good to get points away from home. It's difficult in the championship to go to other stadiums, go to other cities, and get points. So I think even though we wanted the 3 points, I don't think 1 is the worst thing.
And you scored again your 4th of the season. Where do you feel you are in terms of your goal scoring tally at the moment? To where do you want to be?
Yeah, I don't think I've had too many opportunities this season. I don't think I've missed any big opportunities, if I'm remembering correctly. I think I can be a little bit more critical, and probably get more assists in the final third, and hopefully more goals. So I think I'm doing okay.
And it's obviously a very young squad. Do you almost feel like one of the senior statesmen in the squad?
I'm only 26, and I'm probably one of the oldest guys in the dressing room. So it's definitely a young squad. So we have a lot of new players this season, like we did last season. So we're just trying to gel the group together and get a good team going.
So do you feel a certain responsibility to try and help the young players?
Yeah, of course. The new guys coming in, it's the first season here, and me being in that position last season, I know how it feels to try and find your feet here and find your place in the team. So I know how it feels. I'm trying to help the guys out.
And of course you have played for the USA. Is that good in a way that you have a sort of an outlet where you almost get away from it in terms of what's going on here a bit?
Yeah, I'm really enjoying playing football at the moment, so it feels good. The guys are going back training here. So when I go to the States, it feels good to play games and continue training.
And you got a nice assist right at the end of the game for the USA last time. That must be nice.
Yeah, it felt good. Playing for the States is it's an honor. So I enjoy every moment there.
And what about the experience of playing under a coach like Pochettino? Obviously a hugely experienced coach. How are you finding that?
High profile, very experienced. It's great. Great learning from a person like him who's coached many great players: Harry Kane, Mbappe, Neymar, Messi. It's incredible.
So do you think he can make you a better player just when you're with the USA?
Yeah, we shortly spoke, and he told me things I can improve on, and I'm working on them.
And as far as Coventry City are concerned, how confident are you that you can turn it around and start moving upwards?
Oh, we have a great team. We have a good group of players together, and I think great management above us. So yeah, definitely possibilities.
And Luton this weekend, of course, they're going through a similar sort of thing. So can you use that to your advantage?
Yeah, I think the history between the two clubs. I think the playoff final obviously is still in our minds a bit. So I think we want to get revenge for that. Yeah,
that was obviously a disappointment in the end, losing on penalties. But actually, you followed. Obviously, you haven't been here all the time, but you followed a similar path of Luton, sort of come up the leagues with them as well. So is there almost a little bit of a connection between the two clubs?
Yeah, a little rivalry, I guess you could say. I think definitely they're a good opponent. So really doing our best to beat them.
And what about these 12:30 kickoffs? Does that make a difference in terms of preparation?
No, not really. I kind of prefer early kickoffs.
Yeah. Why?
just get the game going, and then early in the morning you're ready. You train at a similar time, so it's good for us.
You're not hanging around too much.
Yeah, I'm not thinking about the game too often. Just kind of get straight into it.